Morning, everybody. 8:11 a.m. It is July 5th. Welcome to my channel. We have interesting day the other day. We made all-time highs. The market just kept trucking higher, and we broke the balance highs, especially in the ES. And ES, Nasdaq also broke a key resistance level. Can this truck keep going? It certainly can. Pretty nuts, right? So, pre-market, what are we looking at here? Tesla's up again. It's been a monster. Pretty crazy run. I mean, that's a pretty nuts run if you look at a chart of Tesla. It's insane. All right. And today, what do we have? We have non-farm payrolls, unemployment. And unemployment is expected not to change at 4%. So, and I think we're expecting 190,000 jobs added for non-farm payrolls. So we have to see how that plays out. We'll watch it live at 8:30. All right. And that's kind of what's going on this morning. Obviously today, volume's a little low. I'm not expecting much today. I mean, I don't know how big a move the algos will move this non-farm payrolls number. We'll see how it comes out, or the unemployment. But definitely, probably the big boys are on vacation that move the markets. So their algos will probably be going, but I don't think there's the relative volume's low today, just like it was the other day. But we actually had not the worst movement the other day, but we'll have to see. All right, without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use volume profile, market profile to find structure in the markets, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the rolling month, the rolling week, and the previous day. Just helps me find structure. This is my go-to. This is my edge. This is how I build scenarios. Okay, and I do this every day at 8:10 a.m. You can join me. You get the news. You get why stocks are moving, why stocks are falling, economic calendar, basically the overall story of the market. We go over daily charts. Then around 8:30 a.m., I go over my trade scenarios for the day, long, short setups, and what I like to see. Okay, do that every day, 8:30, and I do it live. I don't look at this prior. I literally do it live. It's part of my process. I would do it with no one watching, one person watching, nobody watching. So hopefully you can join me every day. All right. If you can, subscribe. Set an alert if you can. All right. And if you enjoy my content, please give me a thumbs up or a like. That would be much appreciated. And as always, you can follow me on social media at X at Gonzo719. Alrighty. Why don't we get right into the futures watch list here, see what's going on. There's some big movers. Bitcoin's fell big time. All right, so let's look at this together. VIX. VIX is up 1.47%, probably just because it is data coming out at 8:30. All right, silver's up 0.40, gold's up 0.22, 30-year bonds being bought. That should send the 10-year yield slightly lower. Nasdaq's pretty much flat. 10-year yield reports at 820. That's going to move around, obviously. ES is flat. The Dow is slightly down 0.06. Crude's slightly down 0.08. The dollar is down 0.14. The Russell's down 0.17. Bitcoin, that's the big loser, down 6.96%, almost 7%. Pretty crazy pullback. It finally broke that 60K level. Let's see what happens there. Ether's at almost down 10%. It's at 9.74%. So those are moving. I did see some news. Why? I heard Germany selling some Bitcoin. I heard the halving, that miners aren't getting as much return as expected. Those are some things. There's some other things that I saw, but I'm not a big crypto guy. But I do look at it, obviously. So that's what's going on there. All right, let's go on to the Mag 7 Plus. And Tesla is just out of control. All right. I believe they just got good numbers from China as well. So they're up 2.29%. Right. They report earnings. I don't believe next week. Let's see when they report. 723. All right. And then you got Broadcom. Avgo is up 0.8. AMD is up 0.46. Google's up 0.37. Then you got some laggards here. We got JP Morgan down 0.39. Bob is down 1.12. And you got Coinbase in sympathy with Bitcoin's down 4.58%. So that's what's going on there. Let's go on to the top sector stocks here. Who's the leader? Qualcomm, Eli Lilly, Cat. There's no laggard. There is no laggard to be found. Let's go to my swing trade list. Macy's looking to get bought out. So that is sending the stock higher, 7.86%. Taiwan Semiconductors following it up 1.49. ARM up 1.25. Not much after that. All right, let's see laggards. Bitcoin ETF down 8.25%, not surprising there. Mara down 6.48. This is all Bitcoin related. MicroStrategy is down 5.89%. Riot, Hood, I think that's Bosch Health, Donald Trump stock, GameStop down 1%. That's your laggards. All right. Now, move on to sectors. All right, who's the leader this morning? Semis up 0.42, followed by discretionary. That's your Tesla, that's your Amazon, followed by financials, which is only up 0.05. So Tesla's the only thing really moving significantly this morning. So just have to see what goes on with that, right? There's really not a laggard. I mean, you have healthcare, energy, but it's not really that much of a laggard. Okay. Now, we look at the economic calendar, and we'll look at that in a second. All right, let's look at that together. All right, so what do we have here? We have Fed Williams spoke already. We have non-farm payrolls. We're expecting 190K. Okay, previously got 272. So basically, if we add more jobs than 190K, that is bearish. Okay. The Fed, to get a cut coming sooner, you want to see unemployment go up, which is bullish. You want to see these non-farm payrolls not get, maybe get 175 or something like that. That would be the bullish case. Okay. Bearish case is if unemployment goes down to 3.9, 3.8. Okay. We add more, say we add 200, over 200, 225 or something like that. That would be bearish. All right. So those are going to be looked at 8:30. We'll go over that. It's about 10 minutes from now. All right. That's what's going on there. As far as other news, I'm not really seeing much that's affecting the market other than that. So, I mean, there's a couple things I just want to see here. We'll just see this here for a second here. I got some news, but I don't really think anything is that crazy right now. Yeah, this is what I was talking about Tesla. Several Chinese state firms in Shanghai buy Tesla Model Y cars. Several state-owned firms in China financial hub of Shanghai have recently purchased Tesla's best-selling Model Y service cars as a local government state. That's why Tesla's up. I mean, even though it's been friggin' rocketing, that's why it's up again. If you look at it, the daily chart of Tesla, it's insane. Okay. What else is here? I'm just trying to see if anything to note. There's the Macy's buyout. Arc House Management possibly going to buy Macy's. That's really all. Really, that's not much news going on. If we go to Juice, let's see if the Juice has anything. The Juice is stating here, prior to the release of critical U.S. jobs data, which is anticipated to indicate a moderate in hiring Moderation in hiring, global stocks were at all-time highs following Labour's landslide victory in the UK general election. The pound enjoyed its longest winning run in 40 years. Fed Williams, it doesn't seem like he moved the market much. Yeah, that's that. I think that's all I'm going to talk about there. Okay, so why don't we get right into the daily charts? All right. So we had this balance range here. All right. Top of that balance, 550. Bottom of the balance is called 542. Okay. So once the market failed to go lower, I'm going to do a video because I took a trade on July 2nd based on balance rules. Okay. And when the market fails to go lower in balance, it tends to go back to the other side of balance, which it did. Okay. But then we got a follow through day, and you broke the 550. Okay, so we made new all-time highs. All right, you broke last week's highs. Okay, now we're at 551.50 right now, about 551.50. We're right at the highs. Okay, and we're going into the weekend. I don't know what's going to happen with those numbers. Okay, but that's where we're at. All right, we broke the balance. Now, the job of the market now, once you break out of this balance high, is do you get follow through? If we go back, okay, this is balance rules too. If you look above and fail, you go back. You're going to hit the other back. You're going to go back to 542. This is how it works. And then see if you could break out that way. So it's very interesting to see what happens today. Very, very, very interesting. Okay. So let's look at futures. Here's our futures, right? You see, like, we're holding the highs of the other day, right? Got a little selling wick here, but we're waiting. We're waiting for 8:30, basically. All right, we're waiting. So let's look at Qs. I don't know if I put that up or not. All right. So the Qs. Now, the Qs has this little channel here. Notice these highs have acted as a resistance, and look, we came back, touch, touch, touch. We touched it again. Right up there. I'm not saying this means that it's a big sell-off now, but it has, you have to recognize this upper channel trend has held. Now, every time we've touched this, you've sold. Don't know if that happens, right? So you can see key resistance level was 487 in the Qs. We broke it, and you pushed higher. Okay, Nvidia really pushed. Obviously Tesla, but Nvidia really went down and then pushed up. Okay, that day it was at like 121, and then it rocketed up to like 120, almost 129. Okay, so that's what we're doing there. What are we at now? We're almost at 492. So 492 right here, gapping up a little bit. Okay, now let's look at futures so we get a better view of that. So see, a little doji, but like that Tesla is insane. All right, Tesla and Broadcom. That's the really only big movers this morning. That move markets. Okay, but we're waiting for that number. All right, waiting for that number. Now let's move over to the triple-headed monster before we go. And this triple-headed monster will change right after this non-farm payrolls. Okay. But 10-year yield, let's look at it. Look at that. Boy, 7.3. Look at that drop in yields. We gapped up, right? I was like, whoa, that's a big gap up in a 10-year yield. Then look at what happened. Wham. 10-year yield now is at 4.3. Very, very sharp pullback right to this little trend line here. It's really a it's really a test here because you got swing high, swing high. Now, what do? Right? We're below the 200-day moving average, below the 100-day moving average. At the 20-day, have to see. Have to see really what this unemployment numbers come out. What happens, right? Now, let's go over to the dollar. The dollar. Whoa. Okay. Dollar's getting. Now, this is. All right. With the yield. Right now, on the surface, let's get out. It broke out of this range. Let's get rid of that. Look at this dollar. It was making a run. It was making a run. Now it's falling. That could only mean one thing. The euro and the yen are pushing up. Specifically, probably the euro. Okay. So this dollar weakness now. Now you have yields dropping. Dollar weakness means the market can go up. Okay. So real quick, let's look at that. The euro. It's got to be up. There we go. There's the rise in the euro. So the euro is about 57% weight in the Dixie, the dollar. The yen is not as much, but it's the second biggest, and it's getting a little push up today. So that's your triple-headed monster. Now wait, we got the VIX, which shows no fear at all. It's a little rise today, but I mean, look, this is all complacency. There's no fear. Nobody's hedging their positions. And remember, the VIX is 30 days out of fear. All right, so we have. I'm going to change this chart to. What the heck? You serious? I think my Thinkorswim just froze on me. Give me one sec, because I'm gonna put up this. I think there's an something that popped up that I don't see. Yeah, that's what it was. All right, that's all it was. All right, let's go back here. I'm just gonna put it on a. Let's see, let's do an hourly chart here. All right, so this is how we'll watch the numbers drop for futures. So we got about a minute out now. And we'll just watch to see how these numbers pop out. What numbers do we get? Should be very interesting. And we got about 30 seconds. You can see this pulsing right here. Waiting for that number. Usually you see the volatility start to go up in a candle, like boop, 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 starts pumping like a heartbeat. All right, we got about 15 seconds to the news come out. Five seconds. Boom, news dropped. All right. A little wild candle there. Let's see here. All right, unemployment went up, which should be bullish. Non-farm payrolls, though, added more jobs than thought. So the unemployment ticking up is overriding the addition in new jobs. So remember, the Fed looks at unemployment. So it's a fight right now for the numbers. So unemployment, so let's go to it to show you guys. Unemployment went up. Expected 4, it went up. Okay? That is a call to the Fed that might cut earlier than expected. However, we added more jobs. expected 190. We added 206,000. That those non-farm payroll additions are always suspect. They get revised later, but it doesn't matter. The algos act on this number, so it's conflicting. And now it might be a nothing burger at the end of the day. It's very conflicting. So you're getting this wick. So people are really going, okay, unemployment went up 0.1, but we added more jobs than expected. So it's a very bullish, bearish thing. Okay, only 0.1 in unemployment. So I don't know how the market's gonna really look at this. Now this could turn real quickly. Okay. Getting that wick. Now like I said, I don't know how the market's gonna handle this. It could be a nothing burger when they cancel each other out. Because you're adding more jobs, but your unemployment went up, right? I know people dive deep into those numbers. I mean, I don't do that because it doesn't matter to me. It matters what the market does. So it'll be really interesting. Now, what's really interesting, we're going to look at how this is affecting that triple-headed monster right now, right? I'm sure Fed fund futures have been affected, but let's look at the watch list, all right? All right, so we have gold pushing up, silver's pushing up. 30-year bonds are being bought. Okay, that should drive 10-year yield lower. Russell's up, indexes are up. So you got the dollar is going down. So this is bullish for the market as in the meantime. 10-year yield is down 1.35%. Okay, so the market right now, this is more of a bullish for the triple-headed monster. It looks more bullish, but we have to see, right? This little wick here. Remember, today's volume's not the best. So once these algos are finished, it's up to the market, right? Now, right now, it's looking like a nothing burger. I'd like this number to settle in a little bit so I can get a game plan going here. It's very interesting how this is going to pan out. Last time, the unemployment number didn't matter as much as the non-farm payroll. So I really don't know. I would just like to get a game plan going. But we can do that. We can definitely do that. So let me go here and we'll look at the market, how I prefer to look at the market to get my game plans. All right, we're here. Just going to take this down. This supply zone's gone. Okay. So we can go over a couple things here. Okay. Now our profile. This is a rolling profile. You got values down here. That's 70% of the trade, and then you got this extra volume here. Okay. Now what I did is I merged the last 3 sessions into this session. It's too much little stuff. I'd rather look at a session like this. Okay. So, how do we gauge this, right? We're at all-time highs right now in like the overnight session. All right, because this was the high from Wednesday. So we are gapping up. Okay. Now, we're above all major levels. Now, one important part you want to talk about with profile is the volume, right? Because right now, the most traded price of the month and the week, which is very important, is 55.30. Notice the volume here. There's a tapering off. That means less and less and less people are buying this market or just trading it. Okay, and what you need to see is this most traded price of the week to move higher, up here somewhere. You need to build out volume here, and then make this move, make value follow price, and establish a new most traded price of the week. That way the market can move higher, okay? But if you ask, what if that doesn't happen? Well, if value can't follow price, price returns to value. It's like a rubber band. You only can stretch it so much before it snaps back. Okay? That's generally how the market always works. That's why I like using volume profile. Okay? It shows me we're getting thinned out here in volume. It doesn't mean I'm shorting. That's just a one indicator, a one piece of market generated information that it's given me, right? So let's look at this together, okay? Now, today, like I'm not expecting my edge to show up as huge. All right, so we have to look at the highs from Friday. So 55.86. It's also the overnight low. Okay. Inventory is pretty balanced. We went up on that initial, probably unemployment number, jolted this thing up, but then jolted it back down was non-farm payrolls. Okay, we got a very balanced profile. So we are gapping up now. If you're with me, there's gap rules. All right. Now, what gap rules are is you just gauge the strength of the buyers. Okay, and how do we do that? How do we do that, right? So if we open and we gap and go, that's the most bullish outcome you can have. Okay. Second most, failure to fill the gap and then you go higher. Then you can fill the gap and go higher. Now, what is not bullish is if you start to come back into Wednesday's range, well, that means the buyers aren't as strong as we thought. Okay, that's how I like to gauge the gap. Okay, so this market's still trying to digest this number. Still trying to digest it. Okay, so we have to look at a couple of things here. Now, this 55, let's call it 55.70, this level right here, kind of broke out right here, right here. It pushed up out of that level. Also, the most traded price of Wednesday is here. It's pretty much the defense for the bulls here, right there. Okay. Now, if you notice, we're right at the most traded price of all these sessions since Wednesday. So that price is around 55.91 right here. Okay. These are just key levels that I'm looking at, okay? Remember, the most traded prices in all the sessions after Wednesday, like in the Wednesday evening actually, into now, has the most trades have happened right here. That's why it's kind of chilling there, okay? I would consider them probably mostly long. So if this market kind of pushes back, fills that gap, starts going into range, these are longs that have to cover, and we should probably test this area. You know, you stay above this, bullish, and you can move higher or you can go sideways. Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking at. You got a little demand zone here. So why don't we go over to scenarios together? All right, let's do that together. All right, I want to start with the bullish case because obviously this is bullish. Okay, so we have demand. So I would say the gap fill with this demand is the first line of defense for the bulls. Okay, so I'm going to be watching that gap fill. All right, so if the market pushes up, I'm really not going to chase it. I'm going to wait for it to fill this gap and see if we bounce. If we hold it lower high into this demand as well, we can go up and tag the overnight highs. Okay, And usually all-time highs in the overnight are not secure. They usually get broken. So, and 97% of all sessions hit the overnight highs or the overnight lows. So that could happen. Okay. Now the other thing I said, if the market does rip through, takes out the overnight lows, okay, the next defense for the bulls is this breakout level, which also happens to be the most traded price of Friday. That's the second time. Now, if we just rip, whoop, come down here, and it holds and holds and holds, lower high, probably can just work ourselves back up here. I'm not sure if you take out the overnight high at this point. All right, you could definitely start establishing value here. That's all I'm interested in. Okay, we have to see how the rest of the market really pans out here. All right, now as far as shorts, all right, I don't. This environment has not been great for shorts. Okay, so but the volume's thinning out. Remember, I said this is called the slope of hope. Okay, I mean eventually you're going to get some type of pullback. Okay, so remember what I said about balance rules. Okay, that's why I said this is so important, this level here, because if we drop back through that, that is not good. So buyers need to defend that. Okay, so what I'm looking for, if I'm going to even think about this, is I wouldn't even mind if the market went right up, tag, made new all-time highs in the real-time trading hours, goes through the open, lower high, lower high. Now I want to see if we can take out this demand right here. Remember, you're going to take out this most traded price. And if we get a pullback in here, that could be your chance and get some weakness, and we hold to go down and tag the most traded price and that breakout level. Okay, and this is very important. If the market internals are weak, okay, and people are going to finally go, all right, let me take some profit. We're going to go down and we're going to test this demand zone. And there's some single prints down here that you can just flush right through them. All right, and what's going to happen is it's going to cause a mass sell-off, and you're going to come back to here, the most traded price of the month and the week. Okay, if you can drive through that, you're going to the bottom of the bounce, which is around 5,500. Okay, that would be very bearish. So that's just a bearish case, right? At any point when I just explain this, let's just say if you were to go to short up here, you could take profit here, right? If you waited for this, you could possibly get this move, right? The whole move can happen because of balance rules. That would be considered a look above and fail, and we go back. And then it's like, okay, the market needs more information. Okay, this market keeps moving up. Now July is a bullish month generally. Also starts the earnings season. So that's what I'm seeing in the ES. Okay, now like I said, today with lower volume, I'm really going to be super picky. You know, if there's something to do, I'm really going to be super picky. Now let's look at the NASDAQ, and let's just see if the NASDAQ has any kind of structure similarities to the ES. Okay, let's get rid of this supply. It no longer matters. Okay, so we're gapping up to here. Let's look at our profile together. So in this case, value area is here. Most traded price of the month and the week is still 20,000. All right. Look again, you're getting volume, less volume, less volume, less volume. Okay. I already explained it before. If you can't establish new value up here, you go back to value. We'll have to see. Momentum's with the bulls. That's no doubt about that. Okay. Here's Friday's highs. That's the gap fill. Here's Friday's lows. Right here. So we're gapping. Gap rules in play. All right. So we have similar structure, actually, to the ES here. Because you have demand zone around the gap fill right here. Bulls need to defend that. You have a little patch of single prints as well. Okay. So we really have to see. Really have to see what happens. But the same kind of thing. It is actually very similar. So let's get right into it because it's very similar. Very, very, very similar. The one thing you do have is a weak low here around 22.16. Okay, that's a defense for the bulls. There's a big demand zone here. I believe this is like an 8-hour demand zone. It's a pretty big one. Okay, so let's get right into the scenarios here. All right, let's look at that bullish case. Bullish case. Okay, here's the bulls. Here's the gap fill and demand and single prints. All right, if the market pushes up, comes back here, and you start to, can't really go, even if it does this and recovers lower high, you could definitely make a move back up. Okay, if the market does go through this area, okay, say we go up and we come through, the next defense is the breakout level, which is around 20,260 right in here. Also lines up with a big demand zone. Also lines up with the most traded price of Friday. Okay, so that will be another place to look for. Is this pullback buyable? And we hold and you can move up. Because below that is shaky ground. Okay, very shaky ground. So this is what I'd be looking for. Okay, I'm not ecstatic to be longing up here, but the momentum's on the bull side. Okay, now bearish. Okay, bearish. Same kind of deal. Here's the most traded price, 20.40.03. Okay, those should be longs there. So if we go up, tag, make an all-time high in a new trade, same situation, come through the open, you're definitely going to test this. If you bust through that in single prints and you start holding here, gap filled it, you're going to test here. You're going to go down and test the most traded price and the breakout level. Okay. Again, you can get the pop here. That was in the bullish case. But if you don't, and it's weak, and you rip here, and you hold, boy, you can go right back to 20,000. And then fall farther to the other side of balance. Don't know if that happens, but this is just similar. So they're both the similar setups, okay, which I like. Because I like them to be in sync together. I want to see the same kind of structure, okay? So that's what I'm looking for today. And like I said, I'm going to sit back, and if I don't like what I see, it's a no trade for me today. If I don't really, if the markets are disconnected or whatever, I'm not really going to like what I see. Okay? So, that's it for me today. All right? Now, a couple things here. I am working on a new short for the long that I did on July 2nd. Okay, beautiful long, based on balance rules. Okay, based on a pullback to VWAP, a pullback to the gamma flip point in SPY. Also, technology was super strong that day. Okay, and I'm missing something here that I'm. Oh yeah, and that most traded price in the ES was supportive. So that's why I took the trade, right? And so it was worth the risk because I knew once you failure to go lower in balance and you start moving up past the most traded price and you hold it, you're going to test the other side of balance. And it's exactly what we did. And then you got a trend continuation day the next day and broke out of balance. But now the market has to hold that. It can't lose it. Okay? Can't lose it. So that's what we're talking about. That's what I'm going to make a video about. I'm in the middle of making it. So that should be coming out soon. I should be dropping that either later today or on the weekend. So I know subscribers don't get short alerts. You know what I'm going to try to do. All right, maybe someone can leave me a comment or send me a message or whatever. Because a minute is not a lot of time. All right, so when I do a short, I'm trying to jam stuff in there. But I would have no problems doing the short, but then giving more of a lengthier explanation of why I took the trade. Okay, I wouldn't mind it if I get some extra subscribers, people really commenting on it. I'll do it. Maybe even do a private session, send some private links out, and we can have like a whole thing about it. Okay, and you can ask me questions. So we'll have to see. I don't know who's interested in that or not, but I'd rather give more information than just that minute. All right. So everybody, if you enjoyed my content, all right, and want to see more, please subscribe, set an alert. That would mean a lot to me. Okay. And if you enjoyed it, please give me a comment. That'd be awesome. But if you can give me a thumbs up, a like, that'd be much appreciated. All right. You can always follow me on X at Gonzo719. I do have TikTok as well, Instagram as well. I do post my shorts and my reels up there, so I'll give that as well. I believe I'm Gonzo719 as well on Instagram, and I believe I'm Gonzo719 Trader on TikTok. I have to update my logos and stuff like that. But so everybody have a great day. Have a great weekend. Okay, have a great weekend, and I'll see everybody back on Monday. Okay, take it easy.